There are two kinds of people in the world, my friend. Those with a rope around their neck and the people who have the job of doing the cutting. Listen, the neck at the end of the rope is mine. I run the risks.
The good, the bad, and the ugly.
Two can dig a lot quicker than one.
Never has there been more enthusiasm over the MLB ballpark app than just right now with Justin's hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, go ballpark app.
Yep. Hell yeah.
Download
Hell
it.
yeah.
Download it.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to be...
And download the ESPN Tucson app.
Yes, while you're there. App Store, Google Play. It's free 99.
Subscribe to Spears and Ali on the YouTube channel and your different social media platforms.
Thanks to you guys for watching at home. We
Yeah.
greatly appreciate it.
And always drink your Ovaltine.
Man, whatever happened to Ovaltine?
Crummy ad.
That ad, you don't see that ad anymore. Ovaltine's still out there.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
They've been rolling off the Christmas Story royalties for years.
Haven't seen Ovaltine in a while. I totally forgot about that. Okay. Also, it's I kind of had the same realization when I was walking through the outlets over there on the north side of town, and I don't know if it's still there anymore, but they had an OshKosh Bagash store, and I didn't.
You shopped there predominantly.
Yeah.
With your overalls.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just OshKosh was like my thing as a little kid, and then
You have one size bigger. That's the most common thing said by Justin Spears at the OshKosh store. I'm looking for like a hefty boy size. Right?
Yeah.
honestly, I
I
didn't.
want to be able to go like this with my OshKosh.
Honestly, I didn't start
Stretch the suspenders.
putting on the LBs until I discovered Chick-fil-A at the Student Union at the U of A. 'Cause I was always like a pretty fit guy, and then went to the U of A, and that freshman 15 eating the Chick-fil-A turned into a freshman 60.
Wasn't the grill? You weren't grilled chicken anymore.
No.
It was, yeah.
Come on, 12 piece with some
Yeah.
waffle fries and a Powerade. My go-to lunch
Woof.
all the time.
Cool.
Anyways,
So much sodium.
I know a lot of sodium.
Yeah.
And that's why I said the freshman 15 turned into that freshman 60 or freshman 80. But anyways, let's talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. Some good things, some bad things, and some ugly things that happened over the weekend. If you want to contribute, feel free to hit us up at 719-1490, 719-1490. As a matter of fact, I peeked over at Mr. Ollie Farhang's notes, and we have some similar content.
You
So
cheating on tests?
I'm not cheating on a test.
Well,
I
you looked
originally
at my
had this,
notes.
Yeah, you did.
but I already have my answer. I just saw what your answer was.
Why don't you
for-
go and I'll adjust because I'm good on my feet.
Okay.
Yeah.
The good, the bad, and the ugly.
You're quite rigid.
Well, my good
Those damn OshKosh
is
overalls.
I knew you were going to talk about the Tucson Sugar Skulls, so I went more
You can because I got actually
of the national
I'm,
route.
I'm not going to even cover that. It's up to you because I got something else that happened yesterday that was awesome.
Okay. Well, my good is Scotty Scheffler.
Yo,
Freaking Scotty Scheffler. Do you see what this guy did
I
over the
did not.
weekend? So Scotty Scheffler, he ties the lowest score in PGA Tour history in the 72-hole event. Shot minus 31. He was
What?
He was 31 under par.
Yeah.
That is not a typo.
You
Yeah,
shot a 41?
31. No. Well, 31 under par.
Yeah, on a 72.
On
So he
se-
shot a 41.
No.
Over the
72 hole round.
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
okay. I was like,
Not
No.
on one
dude.
day.
No, he's not
Wow.
freaking
He's
not-
scoring eagles every single.
He's not Kim Jong Un.
No,
You said
sorry.
72 hole event. I was like, oh my God.
Yes, 72 over the course of 4 days, shot a 31 under par.
That's insane.
It's so crazy, man. Like, and I almost feel bad for some of these other guys because think about this. Eric Van Rooyen, he's originally from South Africa. He finished the event 23 under par. Think about this. You shoot 23 under par and you lost that tournament by 8 strokes. If you shoot a 23 under par, you're high-fiving everybody. You're like, dude, this is one of the best events I ever played. Unfortunately, you just have the biggest star in golf right now, and Scotty Scheffler, who is playing out of his freaking mind right now. So Scotty Scheffler shooting a 31 under par, tying the PGA Tour record for lowest event score. That is my good. And he's a good dude, man. Can't believe he was arrested. Still can't believe he was arrested.
But he still made his tea time.
Wrongly, but it's okay.
Wrongly arrested for sure.
Yeah.
My bad is Sharon Moore, the head coach of the Michigan Wolverines. I don't know if you guys saw this earlier this morning, but the Michigan head coach will have a self-imposed 2-game suspension for this upcoming season as a result from the sign stealing scandal. Remember Connor Stallions and that whole thing that got Jim Harbaugh suspended for a few games, and Sharon Moore was on national TV crying, almost like Jim Harbaugh died, and that's why he wasn't on the sidelines. And it's like, no, you guys were cheating at Michigan. That's why Jim Harbaugh ain't on the sidelines anymore. And I'm wondering, is the interim coach going to get on TV and cry when Sharon Moore is suspended for 2 games because of this? But the reason why I'm putting it as my bad is because the self-imposed suspension is for weeks 3 and week 4. So he's going to be on the sidelines for the first 2 games. Then he's like, okay, when we're playing Dog Poop University for week 3, I'm not going to be on the sidelines. But he's going to make sure that he is on that sidelines for week 2 when they play against his alma mater in Oklahoma.
Yeah. But,
it's freaking ridiculous,
don't
man.
speak ill of Chattanooga A&T. Come on.
Yeah. I'm like, okay. Yeah, keep him on the sidelines for his alma mater. They got to make sure they keep that storyline for college football.
Suspended for 2 games. This is connected to the Connor Stallions thing.
Yeah.
Which is a completely overblown story because everybody's looking at everybody else's signs. This is stupid. Just be done.
And that's why it's the bad.
Be done. I don't. This is bad NCAA. It's like that. Remember that
They
FBI investigation with all the assistant coaches?
But they didn't do that.
Including Book Richardson.
Yeah. Served prison time.
It was nothing.
For 3 months.
For nothing. And by the way, the FBI agent, if you didn't know this, the FBI agent in charge of that investigation took all of the money and disappeared. But nobody talks about that. People are looking at signs all the time, and now it's not even an issue because you have in-helmet communication with the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
So what are we doing? What are we doing?
I agree.
Stupid.
I agree.
Self-imposed, though. So
he was the one who
right?
came out.
I know, but they had to do it because I don't know. It's just stupid.
But you go out and do the first 2 games and just get out of the way.
Nah.
But it's like, no. We got to make sure he's there for the Oklahoma game.
It'd be better if it was game 1 and 3.
Yeah, good. I'm good. I think it should be game 17 and 0, which means there's no game. Stupid. All right, what's your ugly?
So my ugly
Suspended for the spring game.
Yeah, OshKosh Bigosh is no longer at the Outlet Mall. Go ahead.
My ugly is James Harden, the beard.
Yeah.
Because the Clippers, they got smoked in Game 7 against the Denver Nuggets. And it's so funny that Steve Ballmer flew out 30 diehard Clippers fans, which I think is cool. I think it's awesome that an owner did that. But you got to make sure that if you're flying people out to Denver, that your team's not getting smoked by 30 points in a closeout game.
What do you call it? They call it the wall of discombobulation or whatever.
Something like it's like the quote unquote student section.
I know, but it's actually, I heard, one of the coolest basketball environments in all of the NBA is the Clippers Stadium. So anyway, go ahead.
Intuit Dome's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And in a closeout game, James Harden decided, nah, y'all got it. I ain't gonna show up. And what's so crazy is, I forgot who it was. It might have been like Jay Williams or like one of those pundits. And they're talking about we should have a conversation about James Harden along with Dwayne Wade. And I'm like, whoa, hold on. Time out. We're talking about Dwayne Wade, top 3, top 4 shooting guard of all time. Yeah?
I don't know.
You're going to put James Harden in the same conversation with that guy, the guy that has actually won multiple championships. And I know, he had LeBron James and, they won 2 championships together. But there was a time where Dwayne Wade led the Miami Heat to a championship in 2006. I know he had Shaq, but Dwayne Wade was the catalyst of that team. So I already was
he won it without Shaq.
With LeBron James.
No, he won it.
In 06, Shaq was on the team.
He was on the team.
Yes,
okay.
It was him and Alonzo Mourning.
But it was Dwayne Wade.
It was Dwayne Wade that was, like I said, was the catalyst. And so Dwayne Wade is an all-time great player. And to put James Harden in that conversation, I was like, okay, that's a little crazy. But hey, maybe James Harden can do something with the Clippers. Maybe they can go far in the playoffs, him and Kawhi. And then in a closeout game, James Harden decided, I'm not going to show up. and the Clippers got their ass smoked. And James Harden has now lost a Game 7 with 4 different teams. That's amazing, man. That honestly, like him in closeout games, he is honestly one of the biggest choke artists of all time. And how about this? He's got 55 games, 55 playoff games with under 4 field goals made. Ugh. Yeah, 55 with less than 4 field goals in the postseason. And the Clippers, they also haven't won a playoff series in 4 seasons. In 2023, they lost to the Phoenix Suns in the first round. Last year, they lost to the Dallas Mavericks. And then this year, they lost to the Denver Nuggets. So James Harden, closeout games, the Clippers, y'all were ugly this weekend. And so we had to talk about it.
Ba-da-ba-bum-bum.
Okay.
Good, bad, and the ugly.
Thank you.
There you
Andrew.
go.
Ollie, the floor is yours.
Yeah, definitely gonna have to adjust my ugly, but I got it because I told you I can adjust. And I'm good on my feet. You're gonna like it too. My good is this, and we've talked about it a lot. Tucson Sugar Skulls. I think it was the best home win since the inception of the team. Great crowd, very engaged. The production of the game was great, and the team played it magnificent. But my good really is I got a text after the game, like at 10 p.m. from a buddy of mine who's a football agent. He works for a guy named Ryan Tolner. They represented Ben Roethlisberger. They represented a bunch of guys, and they're actually under the Clutch umbrella now. Anyway, he's like, hey, I'm in Tucson tomorrow for a James Conner football camp at Tucson High. And I'm like, dude, there's not much going on in this town when it has to do with football that I don't know what's happening. I didn't even know that James Conner was going to be in Tucson. And maybe call me in advance. We can help promote it. But there was a lot of kids. So I'm like, okay, Sundays, I like to, it's my day, man. But I'm like, I haven't seen this guy for a long time. He's in Tucson, never been to Tucson. Comes in. James Conner is great with the kids. The camp goes great. And my boy Nima, that's his name. He's like, hey, we just want to go check out U of A. James Conner's always had this like thing about University of Arizona. Like in the back of his mind, he's always thought about, man, I kind of wanted to play at U of A. And I'm like, and he wants to see it. And I'm like, well, you want me to call somebody and we can get you a tour? And he's like, no, we're just going to look at it. And I'm like, no, we're going. So I call my guy, Ben Thenis. Ben Thenis puts me in with Brandon Sanders. Brandon Sanders gives a great tour of all the Arizona football facilities. And I'm with James Conner and a guy named Deontay Spencer. Deontay Spencer also played for the Steelers. There was some Steelers talk, but I didn't want to go overboard.
How sweaty were you the whole time?
No, dude, I treat those guys are just dudes to me, man. I mean, in fact, me and James Conner he's like, I'm going to get your number. We're going to hook up again. I'll get you a couple games. If you just treat people like human beings, you actually probably can create a connection. And I had this connection with James Conner and Deontay. And Deontay Spencer, I'm like, yeah, man, last preseason game, you scored a kick return for a touchdown and you made the team from McNeese State. He's like, yeah, man, you knew that? I'm like, yeah. And then you went to Denver and he played for the Jets a little bit last year. He's still looking to hook on with somebody. Great guy. So me and those 3 guys, Brandon Sanders did a great job taking the facilities. These guys were absolutely over the moon over football facilities. In fact, Deontay Spencer's like, man, I wish I went to U of A. If I could go anywhere again, like if you brought me here, I would sign right away. And the facilities are really pretty nice. So Ryan Tolner, also Brent Brennan's agent. So James Conner, Brent Brennan. So we took a picture of James Conner in Brent Brennan's chair in his office, sent it over to Ryan Tolner. I texted Brent, had a great time. And they're like, we're looking to eat now. Where do we go? It's just something, I'm like, you're going to eat? I'm like, we're going to El Charro, the original. Take him to El Charro. Watching these guys eat, first of all, I'm like, look, I'm going to order a few things, and then I'm going to let you guys go. But we're getting a cheese crisp with green chili.
Got to do it.
And got a couple other things, and I highly recommend the carne seca. James Conner ordered everything on the menu, like every single taco. Deontay got the shrimp fajitas. My boy Nima got some other kind of tacos. Watching these guys eat El Charro was like watching a human being see color for the first time in their life. I mean, everybody was like, oh my God, this is incredible. Oh my God, I never had anything like this. This is the greatest. Ultimately, what ended up happening is I talked to James and I'm like, listen, the Cardinals do nothing in Tucson. I'm going to tell you right now, what you did with those kids today is how you build fans, how you build a tradition. Those kids, by the way, the kids for some reason have to say both of his names. It's not James Conner is the funniest thing ever. I'm like, what you did today, you just made some Cardinals fans.
Yeah.
And, you can talk to Bill Bidwell about it because he does nothing. James Conner's like, dude, I'm coming back. I'm going to come back. I'm going to come to a Juve game. I'm going to take James. We're going to go to a Juve basketball game together.
Hell yeah.
During his off week. Hopefully there's a home game. And James Conner is a big fan of Tucson. And I was proud to host and show them a couple of the many things that are great. And it was an awesome time. As they say, never meet your heroes. But guys like James Conner put that notion to rest. I mean, James Conner is as cool as you hope he is, just a regular guy. And I'm buying at El Charro because it's his birthday. I'm like, how many times in my life can I say I bought lunch for James Conner on his birthday? And my boy Nima was not happy, but it's a Persian thing. We fight over bills. I did it secretly behind his back.
Oh,
he's
nice.
like, you son of a gun. So happy birthday, James Conner, today. Cinco de Mayo is his birthday. And great time with him and Deontay Spencer and my boy Nima. My bad is kind of like a good bad. The Houston Rockets defense last night, their offense was horrendous. But Amen Thompson is a star. I mean, I saw Steph Curry with 3 points in the first half. Now Steph picked it up. Amen Thompson got hurt. I think gave him a little room. The Houston Rockets were doubling Steph when Steph didn't have the ball. And they're like, the rest of you guys beat me. And Buddy Hield said, bet, I got you. So great game by Buddy Hield. But I'm telling you, the Houston Rockets are one offensive guy away. Kevin Durant.
I was going to say.
Giannis Antetokounmpo. From being a really good team. Ime Udoka, their coach, is a wolf. Man, I love the way he coaches. He's always got a scowl on his face. But the Houston Rockets are a team to be reckoned with in the future. That defense was as good as any defense I've seen played at the NBA level. Sometimes I'm like, I don't even know how Golden State got a shot off. Congratulations to the Warriors. I'm betting everything on Minnesota to win the series. I'm going to make a big bet on Minnesota to win the series at minus 155. The Timberwolves are too much, especially. And by the way, my Friday bet. The Golden State Warriors played a game and a half in that game 7. I mean, they're spent. They're going to play game 1 48 hours later in Minnesota. Give the points. Minnesota is going to roll over Golden State on Tuesday. My ugly is, you've talked about Jay Williams and like sports reporters. Like, I don't understand. So there's like a guy named Devin Bush that got arrested for assault over the weekend. And the headline is, former Steeler Devin Bush gets arrested for assault. Devin Bush hasn't played for the Steelers in 6 years. He plays for the Cleveland Browns. But no, that's not sexy enough. You got to say former Steeler. And then I talked about this last week, Jay Williams and the hyperbolic sports journalism saying that Jalen Brunson is playing himself into being one of the greatest, if not the greatest Knick of all time. Bro, a little bit of recency bias. I mean, the Knicks have had Patrick Ewing to start with, a lot of great players. And to say that Jalen Brunson, he hit the game winner. He hit the game winner in game 6 at Detroit. Awesome. Jalen Brunson's a great player. To say he's could be the greatest Knick of all time. Stupid. And I'm sure we're going to have 3 weeks of LeBron talk now from ESPN because that's what they're going to do. And before I say this, I just want you to know that as much as I love Magic Johnson, in my lifetime, Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball player I've ever seen. I love LeBron. I love Magic. There's a lot of great players. I don't do the comparison. Michael Jordan was 1-9 in the playoffs before Scottie Pippen joined him. So, but nobody ever mentions that when they do he's a dog, the greatest of all time. You only talk about things that bolster your opinion to be as absolutely, hot take-ish as you possibly can. They didn't win a playoff series, were 1-9, won no championships. So, there's a little bit of ebb and flow here, but the sports journalism, the headlines, that's why I'm saying, guys, if you really want to be informed, never go by the headline of a story of what's happening. There was another article I read about something, and it was like, this is what was alleged, this, and that. Oh, by the way, at the end of the story, it turned out none of that was true, and the guy was completely innocent. And if you look at the stories, you'll see this happening more and more. So when you talk about trusted sources in news and sports, make sure you hold on to those and never just go by the headline, especially with certain people, especially with like the morning shows, sports shows on ESPN. So that's my ugly.
What
And
he done to us.
again, really, really grateful and fortunate to have an awesome day with a couple of former Steelers and James Conner and Deontay Spencer yesterday. Great dudes, had a fun time, and it was good to see my boy Nima being very successful. He also represents Will Howard,
Why is
back
it-
at the Pittsburgh Steelers,
Why is it a former Steeler? He plays for the Cardinals now.
because he played.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
But I tell you what,
I'm kidding.
That was funny. I'll tell you what, though, James Conner, in his heart of hearts, I think he's grateful to be in Arizona. He's always going to be a Pittsburgh Steeler.
Absolutely.
And Mike Tomlin, in fact, if the Cardinals didn't sign him during the season, I think Mike Tomlin would have tried to get him back to Pittsburgh this year.